Well, looks like a train is coming. Is it Amtrak or freight train? It's freight train. A lot of graffiti on that train there. Now, it's my understanding this building over here to the left is the old train depot, speaking of a train. And it's a museum. However, it's closed today. So I'm not going to be able to see the museum. And I don't know about getting into the famous C&H Sugar factory. Train's got a good pace going though. Guess I'll walk over and check out the closed museum. See what that's about. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm here in the industrial town of Crockett and the home of C&H Sugar. All those pink bags of sugar that you see in the grocery store and the brown sugar all originate from this factory here. And it's under the bridge that goes to Vallejo at the Carquinez Strait here. It's kind of a hidden town because the freeway just goes right over it. So a lot of people don't even know this town exists. The reason I know this town exists is back in 1988, I used to sell door to door. I was a part of a multi-level marketing company, and I made no money, and I worked for a year, and I was horrible. I sold perfume and cologne, knockoff perfume and cologne, and this is one of the towns I came to. Company always said go find spots that no one else has gone to. So I would look at a map and go, what about this town? So that's how I originally found out about this town, Crockett. So I'm gonna walk around and see what else we can discover about this town. It's got some history to it. It was established in the late 1800s, and when the C&H factory came along and built the factory here, or took over, it was a flour factory originally. And when they came along and built the factory, they invested a lot of money into the town and the community because they knew that all their workers were going to live here. So it's kind of an unusual story. They put money into the school, the educational system, and the infrastructure, and they hired architects to design some of the houses that the workers lived in and owned. So it's kind of a neat story the company did right. Currently, C&H Sugar is not owned by the original people. It's a conglomerate of a bunch of different people that I think it's an international company. So, but anyway, this is one of the blue-collar towns that worked really hard. And as you just saw, trains are flying by also all the time. So let's go check out the town of Crockett. Well, here's the inside of the closed museum of Crockett. Funny how they have some puppets over there. Puppet love. And looks like Mickey Mouse, some military uniforms. And free old calendars and I Love Crockett bumper stickers. So this is the old train station here in Crockett, and they got one original door here, looks like. Just gonna walk around. It looks kind of beat up and run down. Hey, even the Crockett Library's closed. Walking through the quagmire here. Whoa, this is deep mud. I just walked through some nasty, murky swamp mud. Wasn't expecting that. It's all over my shoes now. Great. Let's see if I can get this swamp mud off of my feet before it soaks in. Wow, this took the wrong step, didn't I? Well, the swamp mud's still on my feet. I need like some paper towels or something to get it off. Maybe some grass. I hear another train coming. Now that's an Amtrak. That's a passenger. Moving pretty fast. So there's the world famous C&H Sugar factory that opened in 1906. And when it opened, it imported sugar from Hawaii and processed it and then shipped it all over the country and probably overseas. It's still functioning as a sugar factory now. And when it did open in 1906, it was the largest of its kind. So when you guys see those bags of pink and white sugar, this is where it comes from. Baking happiness. It'd be sure nice to get a tour of that place, but I highly doubt they would allow me to go in there and film and take a tour. But if I could get someone's attention, I might ask.
Memorial for anybody from here.
Is that all
First World War, the second.
First, second, Korean, Vietnam, and what, Desert Storm?
You see the dark,
how you doing?
You see the dark spot on there?
I do.
That's my dad. I've been doing for like 3 or 4 years, going over there and rubbing my dad.
Really?
And 4 of my uncles. And then down a little below them, I got a cousin and 2 cousins.
All in the, your dad was in World War II?
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandfather.
He came from Ireland when he was 4 years old, and then
on my mom's side, her dad was in the CIA, which she didn't find out until a week before he died. He knew he was going to die, so then he told her. But he was an immigrant from Italy, and then his wife was an immigrant from Ireland also. She was a redhead, and we used to call her Red. Everybody called her Red. So
hopefully I'm going to Ireland. My birthday's in July, and my kids want to take me this year because I've never been there.
What day is your birthday?
July 1st.
Okay, I'm 26. So that's why I asked. I was like, that would have been a coincidence if we had the same birthday.
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
No.
Yeah, I want to go.
It's been my lifelong dream.
Yeah, I haven't really traveled outside the country too much at all.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico, and that's it. You know.
Born here in 1950.
What did you end up doing for occupation?
I painted houses.
Oh, okay. That's a tough job. I did that for a little bit when I was high school age, helping a painter.
I did it for 35, 40 years.
Wow. So you're a pro. You can cut a perfect line, I bet, huh?
I can. My back's all fucked up now, so
yeah.
I can't really do that anymore. I could, but it's hernias and ruptured disc.
Yeah, it's weird when you start doing something you don't realize later on it could affect your life. Like I was in retail for a long time and my legs are totally screwed up. I've had surgery on my legs because I was standing all the day. So it's like if you do one thing for too long, it's gonna mess you up. You know? So is the main drive of this town This factory?
It's the only thing going on here.
Yeah. So how long did you said your father was in World War II? Did he fight? Was he in the battle or?
Yeah, his ship got hit. He ended up saving the captain off that ship and had to swim 3 miles to shore.
Holy crap. Swam 3 miles?
Yeah.
He's a strong guy. That's a long swim.
My dad could swim.
Yeah, I bet.
My aunt used to be in a swim team here, and they swam from here to Benicia, across the bay. She won hell of awards for that.
Wow.
She came from Ireland too. They were all kids.
I'd be worried of getting a cramp, like a muscle cramp, you know? Because I used to get those when I'd swim. I go, oh!
I get about 10 feet out, and I got to try. I always been kind of scared of water, man.
Yeah,
I was 50-something years old when I swam across my first lake, and my wife came behind me in a little small boat. So I went over there. It took me about 2.5 hours to get over and back, but I did it.
Wow.
And I always been kind of scared of water, so it was really cool to go do it though.
You fought your demons, I guess, huh?
Yeah. The fact that I knew I had something there, that if I needed it, it was there. But I took myself.
Yeah, you hear those stories about guys that are lost at sea and they've tread water for 3 days. I'm like, are you serious? It's like, that's that will to live there, man.
I ain't lying about that.
So, besides your dad, who else was on there?
Anybody that was in the First World War, that went to the war or died in the war. Matter of fact, my uncle helped pay for that.
Wow.
And anybody went to the Korean War or went to Vietnam.
Yep.
I have 2 cousins that went to the
And you say that little dark area is where you rub on it?
Yeah.
Awesome. How often do you do that?
Every day.
That's great.
I stay in Vallejo now, but a lot of times I walk over the bridge, then I walk over here, and I walk up around Crockett. I try to. I'm 73.
You can walk over that bridge?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I've been doing it since
You ride a
they opened it.
bicycle too?
No, I can walk.
Well, you know you can ride a bicycle over the Richmond-Santa Fe Bridge now. You never were able to do that. So that's pretty cool. So you're retired now? Nice.
And disabled behind all the bullshit.
Yeah.
When
So
I repaired my hernia a few years later, the mesh went down into my intestines and my colon and shit, and I almost died from that
oh
shit.
man. So they went and did hernia, I can't even say it, surgery.
Surgery.
And they put that mesh in to keep your gut in, and then it slipped out. Oh man.
Migrated down into my lower intestines, and they cut about 17 inches of that, about 1/3 of my colon out.
Wow. That's horrible.
Yeah. I'm in a lawsuit with that shit, man. I should get something. It's been
Yeah, that's
7.5 years.
That's like malpractice there. Yeah, that's what's weird about surgery. Like when you sign that paper, if you read the fine print, which no one does, they're like, if you die, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Your relatives or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Cute dog. So since I'm kind of, I don't know a lot about Crockett, can you recommend some places to walk around? Downtown, just everywhere?
Well, your little downtown is, if you walk up here and you go to the light, there's your little
Yeah.
You got your about a 2-block area in both
Okay.
ways. That's your little downtown.
All right. And is there a place like a pier? I think I saw like some pier online.
I'm not sure what's on the other side of that.
Okay, maybe I'll go walk over there. Well, good luck on your Ireland trip.
It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. You can get some real Guinness while you're there, right? Not
I
the.
quit drinking
Did
a
you?
while back and stuff, but I told my kid when I get over there, man, I'm jumping off the wagon and probably get drunker than who now and hang out with
I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with those folks, though.
I won't even try.
They got it in their blood, man. They drink like 5 pints and it barely affects them. You know, it's like,
Yeah, they're pints, they're fucking
yeah, I know, they're
things
huge.
this big. I couldn't drink a third of one of them anymore.
Yeah. Well, it was good talking to you. Well, that was cool. It just, you know, you never know if you just engage with people, you never know what you're gonna get. And I met that guy Bobby back there, and told me he grew up in this town, and the town is still kind of all about the sugar, C&H Sugar plant. And you know, you heard his stories. So I encourage people to start conversations with strangers. You never know what you're gonna get. And he could have not talked to me, and that's fine. I would have just told him I had a nice day. But he opened up quite a bit, as you saw. Another angle here. They got some kind of storage facilities. I don't know if it's water. Can't imagine it's oil. It's probably water for processing the sugar. And Bobby told me to go in the office and see if they would do tours or not. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? They got a lot of serious looking signs here, I'll tell you that. 24-hour surveillance notice to visitors. For sanitation reasons, no short pants, short sleeve shirts. Short sleeve shirts or open-toed shoes are allowed. So that rules me out. I'm wearing a short sleeve today. So I won't even bother asking if I can get in there for a tour, because they'll say, no, you're wearing a short sleeve shirt. There's a nice Harley. Cocoa County. Support your local Hells Angels, Richmond. Beautiful bike. I'm just gonna walk and see if I can get a little closer view of the factory here. Some more bikes to look at too. Valkyrie, it's a 6-cylinder beast. Looks like a old Yamaha R1 maybe. Private property, no trespassing. I'm not gonna trespass, I'm just checking out the edge of the factory here. This must be company parking. It's a pretty tall smokestack. Now look at that building. That is the strangest looking building I have ever seen. If anybody watching this video, please let me know what the hell that building is. It's got huge round silo type corrugated metal. It looks like there's 4 or 5 of them in a row with a giant 3-story building on top of it. It's very strange. Very strange. Here's the backside. Now that's probably, they're probably filling that boat partially with sugar. And I call it a boat. It's a ship. That's a lot bigger than a boat. And this is the Carquinez Strait. And over there is Benicia. And I did film Benicia. If you guys are curious watching this video, I have a video on Benicia too. Better overall view of that building, because that is Bazaar Bay Street. And there's a gate open there, but that's probably private property, no trespassing. I like the leopard and duck and leopard in the yard there. But that's a massive building with these silent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes on quite a ways. Well, just past the sugar factory, refinery, is a grocery store slash deli that looks like, unfortunately, is closed. But at one point it probably was thriving. And this place looks like it caught fire. So this town had a lot of history to it at one point. Someone's got a little flower garden here, which is nice. And there's a This is like an art studio. Hey, Pooch. Very cool. Blacklight pictures. And they got an old dog in there. I'm sure there's someone in there. He's wondering what I'm doing. With a black light turned on, I bet those look pretty awesome. Check out these masks here. I think they're masks. They're made out of ceramic though. Pretty cool. And I'm assuming it used to be a shoe cobbler, judging by the old boot and then the boot light. Here's a free Art Deco couch. Anybody want a free Art Deco couch? I'm just going to walk down a little farther and see how big this building is. It just seems to go on for miles. Plus I saw a house down here with a turret on it. Now this says Model Railroad Society. Second floor. Carquinez Toy Train. 645. Oh, it's this. It's a museum up here. I'm gonna go check this out. And then there's a Sugar Works Union Local Number 1. It's funny. I'm in the trains, and I like model trains. And there's a whole society here. Let's see if anybody's in there. Well, that nice gentleman that I didn't talk to on camera, I talked to him off camera, went and grabbed a Model Railroad Society postcard for me. And their next event is February 10th and 11th, so I'm going to try to make one of those. I've always liked model trains since I was a little kid. I think I told you the story of moving from Texas to Capitola, and Capitola had a train kind of like this one going through it every morning, and I would get up in the morning and ride my bicycle down to watch it go by. I was a little kid, probably 6 years old. Now that I think about it, and I have kids, I would never let my 6-year-old just like jump on a bike and go down to watch a train go by, but I was able to do that. So here's that beautiful house with a turret. Great architecture, sure. And then across the street of that house, they even got a overlook on the second floor. Be a nice place to live, I'll tell you. And here is the end of that building. Now you don't know how far I walked, but that is a huge building. I don't think you can tell how far I walked. Still haven't found out. I did ask someone if they knew what it was, and the younger guy, said no, but it looks like something that'd be in a video game. And I'm like, yeah, it does. Look at that house. That's got to be a house owned by a higher up at the C&H Sugar refinery at one point, because it's got a 4-car garage below it. And it's huge. So I bet at the time, whoever worked at the factory, this was the nicest houses they had. Well, check this out. There's a train going by, but there's a little information plaques here. We can learn about the town of Crockett. Children playing. So let's take a look and see what we can discover here. Being a town novice. Crockett history. The region's history is directly connected to its strategic location on the Carquinez Straits. And they got different timelines. Gold rush begins 1848. Shipping grain and produce via the Carquinez Strait Star Flour Mill operates on site in present day as a sugar, C&H Sugar. So it was a flour mill before. And there's a picture of the bridge being made. They've since built a newer bridge alongside it. The Carquinez Strait, what lies nearby. So this is Crockett. We're in Crockett now. Carquinez Strait, Benicia, Vallejo. We came over that bridge. San Pablo Bay, Mare Island, which I have video of, and Sassoon Bay. Well, here's an interesting sign. It talks about cogeneration, and I briefly read it real quick. So they're saying they replaced this old building that I'm trying to figure out what it was with something newer in 1996, which you can't really see beyond the trees, and this is all blocked off. But in a nutshell, they used natural gas to boil water, and they used the steam to turn a generator to create electricity for the plant, and then the other half of the steam is used to refine the sugar, and then the steam that is not being used goes back into a condenser and regenerates again. So it's all natural gas driven. And they talk about it here, the natural gas, and it produces products and electricity, dependable, clean, efficient energy for 1996, which is, I'm doing my math real quick, 96 is 28 years ago. So I doubt it's very efficient by today's standards. I got a quick pop quiz for you guys. What type of things are attracted to sugar? Doom, 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 doom. Okay, time's up. Is it number 1, mice? Is it number 2, ants? Or is it number 3, rats? Well, in our case, since we're by a sugar refinery, look what they got. These giant ants. Look how big he is compared to my finger. Those are big ants for the California Bay Area. I know other people are going to say those aren't big ants, but those are big ants for us. And you would definitely expect to find them by a sugar refinery. Well, I'm definitely getting my exercise today. I decided to walk to the end of the street, and I haven't even walked around downtown yet. But I wanted to see the view here of the Carquinez Strait. Now, if only a train would come by right now, that'd be perfect. It looks like there's an old, I don't know, boat launching, fishing place. And there's the 96 refinery energy producing area. Quite the fancy fire station here. They invested some good money into their modern fire station. And during the huge Sonoma County fires, that same time there was a big fire over here, so these guys were hard at work, I'm sure. I just saw a kitty cat. See if I can wrangle him to say hello to me. Kitty, 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 kitty. Don't be scared. Kitty, 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 kitty. Might be a feral cat. Come on. I'm not gonna scare him because there's a tractor coming, and I don't want him to run across the street. So let's see if I can get closer after the tractor turns. No, he's definitely not into me. He's hiding under the car. I wonder what happened to this house that was here at one point. You tend to think it burnt down. Check out these flowers. They're like trumpet, some kind of trumpet flower tree. Pretty cool. They even have a nice little park to take your pets and your children, and a bocce ball court, and a fountain that's not working. I hear a train coming again. See if I can catch it whizzing by here. It'll be coming in this opening. It's probably another Amtrak though. Sounds like an Amtrak. I don't know why, but they have different. The horns sound a little different to me than freight train. And I was right, it's an Amtrak. Judging by some of the cars parked in this employee lot, some of these people are making some good money. You got a Corvette, a Mercedes, a Jaguar, another Mercedes, Rubicon. Someone's making some money refining that sugar. There's a kitty cat there. Hi, kitty. Next stop, Eckley Pier. Well, another part of the Bay Area I've never known about is this pier here. And they got 2 live railroad tracks here, so we'll be cautious of that, of course. And I think I hear one coming, which would be cool. Yep, here comes a freight train. So I am going to wait here and film the train going by, since I'm such a train buff. She blows. All that motor oil coming from Martinez. That was good timing. Interesting. It looks like they have an old ferry, maybe, or it almost looks like a ferry. Doesn't it look like a steam ferry that, you know, it looks like the wood paddles would have been attached to where that crane is. And mussel quarantine. Do not eat mussels. They can get you sick. Pretty interesting little pier here, though. Might be able to find some good fish catching here. And you can see the remnants of all the docks that used to be here. This is a big fishing place. Another train. This time it's Amtrak. So they do have different horn sounds. You can hear the difference of the Amtrak one, which is a commuter. This is a commuter train here. It's got a loud horn though. Well, I found the train spotting area, that's for sure. And you got these power lines up there. You see those balls on there? Those are there to make sure no planes or helicopters hit those things. Which if Any of you remember Bill Graham, the famous music producer, was killed in a helicopter not very far from here, probably about 10 miles from here. He hit one of these towers. This is an interesting sign. They really highly recommend you don't eat too much of these certain fish. You see here that the serving says for adults and kids, do not eat these fish at all if you catch them. The other ones only eat a serving a week, and so on and so forth, because the toxic chemicals in the San Francisco Bay, the PCBs and the mercury, all that lovely stuff gets into the fish. So you really have to be aware of how much you're eating so you don't poison yourself. Well, I was talking to a guy off camera, and he says he's fishing for sturgeon out here, but he hasn't caught a lot. It's been a slow grind for him, but he's given it a shot. He was explaining to me that you need to, like fish can be intelligent. So if you go to a lake and you caught a bunch of fish at this lake, and you go to another lake and you try using the same technique or bait, it doesn't always transfer over, because the fish are regional by what they like. I didn't know that. I'm not a big fisherman. I just thought bait was bait, but apparently not. So that makes sense why when you go into a fishing store, there's all this bait you see, varieties, because it all depends on what the fish are biting on at that moment. Interesting stuff. You know, when I was a little kid, I used to put my ear on the train track, and the sound waves would transmit for miles, and you could actually hear a train coming by putting your ear up to the train track. That is a train buff fun fact. This is a nice park, and a train's coming again. Can't tell if that's a freight. Sounds like a freight train. Or not. Another Amtrak. Anyway, I was walking over here before the train came to see what this building is. Some kind of power station, I guess. Oh, wow. I thought it would be boarded up and closed. What would this building be? It had windows? You know, I bet this was a train station of some kind. You know, just you wait for the local train to come, back in the steam train days. Pretty cool. And there's no description of what it is, but it's so close to the train tracks, I suspect you wait here, and there was some kind of loading platform at one time, and you'd get on the train. Well, this is a pretty neat little area, the whole town of Crockett and the outlying area. This is a little couple miles out from town, paralleling the Carquinez Strait, the road. And I didn't catch the name of it, but I'm glad I came out here. It's really nice. Met some nice people, talking to them about fishing, and discovering new things about the Bay Area that I never knew. Here's a map. So we just went to this pier right there, and I drove down this windy road to get here. Carquinez Scenic Drive. So we're gonna head back to the town of Crockett and walk around the downtown and see what that's all about. So here in the middle of town, they have a memorial hall no flag flying right now. And way up high, they got a quote from Wilson. There are no days when we should be more patriotic than on other days. So basically, always appreciate the country you live in. And these doors are pretty impressive looking. And then there's a little plaque here from people that are in World War I. 1917. I don't know why they call it the Great War. I always wondered why a war would be any... You wouldn't use the word great for war, because war is about death. But anyway. And they got a thing going on up there. Pretty wild looking doors though, huh? Nice little quaint neighborhoods here. There's some people here that haven't changed their Halloween decorations at all. And they're like permanent Christmas Halloween house. Kind of crazy, huh? You never know what you're gonna find. Okay, we're gonna walk around downtown a little bit. The Cat Vintage and Antiques. I remember Crockett having a lot of antique places here. That was kind of the thing for a while. If you're an antiquer, you'd come here. And I was reading about this particular bar up here called Toots. That it was opened in 1906, and it's been there ever since. So that's a pretty old bar for being in this good old USA. And if you go to England or something like that, then that would not be that old of a bar. But I bet that one's got some stories to tell. Nice bike.
Thank you.
What year is the motor?
It's a 1950. The whole thing, the same frame and motor from the factory. It's all and
really?
Transmission, so it's all 1951.
That's so awesome.
You recording?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. You from around here?
I do YouTube videos all over the Bay Area.
Oh.
I'll give you my card.
Yeah, sure. It was built in the 60s. You know, it was born.
Oh, it
from
totally
the
reminds me of
factory in
Easy
51.
Rider, man. The movie.
Yeah.
You know. With,
yeah, it was born in 51 from the factory, but it was built like this in the 60s and was put in a barn at some point, and I want to say like the 70s or 80s, and was in a barn for like 30 years. And my friend found it and bought it off the guy and clean. It was all messed up, and he cleaned it up and got it running, and I bought it.
Nice.
Bought it off of him.
How long have you had it?
Almost like a year and a half,
nice.
something like that. Yeah.
I love the chain for the rear brake.
Yeah, I put like, because it's a Survivor, you can't change it up much. You have to keep it original to what it is.
Yeah, of
but
course.
I put the chains and a few other little things on it, but for the most part, it sits as it did in 1960.
That's cool.
Thank you.
I've met you before.
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Hey baby. I guess since there's some people over here, I'll let you go.
Did all this shit? No.
Kickstart?
I want to let I'm old, man.
You want electric start?
Yeah, I had a bike one day, like a Kickstarter. All of a sudden, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh, the kickback. Yeah.
Hell no. You have to get it right with Perched.
That's why they have the compression release on some of those things, man. So you don't break your leg if they don't fire up.
That's cool, man. This is old school shit.
Well, this one, whenever it kicks back, it's not too hard, but my shovel head, it kicks like a horse.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up riding dirt bikes, so they were all kicks.
Mm-hmm.
But they were two strokes. They would just fire right up.
Well, you know, most of the time these old bikes take a while to fire up, but this one normally fires within 1 to 2 kicks. I can fire it if you want me to.
Yeah, let's hear it. Why not?
I like your chain system.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know what?
I made those.
And you turn on bend it to get the right tension. I can adjust that. Bend another lead, and you know it's speed. You can adjust it.
Gotta get the pistons in the right spot, right?
Well, priming putting fuel in the carburetor, basically.
Yep. They all have their quirks.
Come on, baby. Dad, you rode me hard.
There you go. Nice. Sounds great. That's awesome.
That's foot clutch jockey shift on this side.
Yeah, that would take some getting used to, man.
Yeah,
so you got
just like in a car. That's your
push that down and then grab.
Yeah, this isn't a clutch. It goes to my front brake.
How long did it take you to learn how to ride it?
Honestly, I already knew how to drop stick, so I got it really quickly. But the only thing that's hard, like, say if I for some reason have to stop on a hill, that shit's hard to take off. But otherwise, I like, you know, you kind of figure out how to position yourself in certain situations. But most of the time, it's not hard.
Yep.
But it is a lot more sketchy because, you know, you got to stop in traffic real quick, anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more difficult. It takes longer. Oh no, I put hundreds of miles on this.
So you're in first gear, you push down the clutch and you grab down?
Yeah, so you push the clutch and
wow.
put that in the gear.
I should call them out and take a picture and say, I just bought this.
Just in case you post this, I want to make it known that I'm not a gang type person.
Oh,
the only reason that sticker's on
it's
there
original?
is because it was original to the area. The guy that owned the bike originally was a hang-around of the Hells Angels, and these stickers
What is a
were
hang-around? He's not in the club?
Yeah, they're basically friends of the club members. So that sticker was only made for 2 years in the late 60s. So that's why it's on there. It's like, it's a piece of history, you know.
Yeah.
You won't find one. It'd be super rare.
Probably got it at Altamont Pass, right?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones concert.
Find one now, but the reproductions, okay?
Oh yeah, of course. That's cool.
You won't find one like that.
Right on. Thanks for firing it up for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like your little mascot.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing in my fucking truck. I'm gonna sell it. I got a hot rod.
Cool.
I got a Harley truck.
Yeah, a
That's
79 Shovelhead and 99 Sportster. But the Sportster I rode all the way down to San Felipe, Mexico this past year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to a rally or?
It's a run called the El Diablo run.
Okay.
That's kind of popular now. It didn't used to be like 10 years ago, but yeah, just to hang out and party in Mexico.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Smog.
So one thing about my bike, you can't. I go more than 100 miles on it, and everything hurts. Those things are a trip, huh? When I first saw one of those, I was like, what the hell is that? Well, another example of meeting someone and just starting a conversation. Guy was super cool, showing me his motorcycle and everything. So you see what I mean with the freeway is just cruising over this town. It's kind of like Radiator Springs from the Cars movie. And there ain't much of a main town here as you're seeing. So I'm gonna go down this road we were just going down earlier by the pier, and the guy said if you keep going you'll come across a little town that's only like a block long. So I'm gonna go check that out before it gets dark because it's already 4 o'clock. So this place is about 5 mile drive outside of Crockett, and it's called Port Costa, and it's a tiny little town that the guy with the Harley told me about, and I already like it. It's called. So we're gonna go check out this tiny little town called Port Costa. That big old house looks like a hotel. And it is. And then the post office is right here. Welcome to Port Costa, California. Founded in 1883. And the post office boxes are right there, just exposed to the elements. Very interesting. It kind of reminds me of Benicia a little bit. Warehouse Cafe, and then this old hotel here. Look at the character that place has, huh? Looks like another little antique curio shop here that's closed. Old original doors there, established in 1883. I wonder what number 2 signifies. Gone fishing will return February 3rd. Happy New Year. Looks like they got some interesting things in that shop. And the sign, I'm not sure what the significance is of the golden Bull Valley Roadhouse. I guess it's a restaurant that is no longer, oh, it's got hours. It's open at night. It's a restaurant here. It's just not open yet. I like that bull though. You hear those noises? Those are hummingbirds. But look at this place. Theater of Dreams, closed until February. Pretty cool. Hey, you guys need to do any laundry? This place is another curio shop. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by appointment or by appointment. So if you're interested, you can call. Spuds McKenzie, I remember him. And the Doggy Diner dog. And little Jimi Hendrix. And is that the Osbournes? Yeah, stuffed Osbournes. Oh, they got some patches up there. Definitely have to come back here with my son Ryan, because he's in the patch collecting. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh wow, and they have this little area here of all these old campers. And a classic old truck. Very cool. This place is probably hopping during the summertime. With people that know about it, of course. Nice old truck. And check it out. An original Doggy Diner. Hot dog stand. Mascot. Sign. So Doggy Diner was a hot dog franchise that was in San Francisco. There was one by the zoo, and I forgot where the other one was. They were around the Bay Area. But now the heads have migrated other places. There's some of these heads on Treasure Island, because I filmed those in a video that I took. But they instantly bring me back to being a kid. And I just check out these old cars here. Old International pickup truck. That's an unusual one. It's like a 40s. You don't see Internationals too much, and this is like a, looks like a Saab or something. Austin, it's an Austin. Don't see those every day either. And then a Volkswagen bus. But this is the whole town. That street basically is the beginning of it. Check out the inside of this thing. Poker chips for a shifter. Look at this house. I don't know if it's someone's actually living there or not, but it's got a tree molded into the outside of it. Don't ruin the magic. For those of you that want to help with the cause, here's a QR code. I'm going to be quiet for a minute because the birds are singing. Listen to the birds. They're singing up a storm. Another great train spotting area here. And quite a view. Now over there is Martinez. And then Benicia, this is all Benicia. And a lot of the cars are shipped in and get offloaded over there. There's a kayaker out there paddling away. And for now, the train tracks are quiet. There's one last thing to look at over here. This old beat up tractor just sitting here. I wonder how many years that tractor has been sitting there. It doesn't look like it's ran in a long time. But you never know. Maybe with a battery it'd fire right up. Certainly doesn't look like it would though. However, that thing on the back looks new. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a functioning tractor. There's a memorial for Nancy here, and it looks like it's a little of a different memorial. If you see her shirt, magical. Hopefully, being there's train tracks right behind here, and she's holding a beer and wine, hopefully she didn't get hit by a train, because that would suck. Hey, thanks for coming along with me today to the town of Crockett. We saw a lot of interesting things, I thought, and I'm now in Port Costa. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on my next one. See what else we can discover out there. All right, thanks for coming. Bye.